here. He's
And it's all just trading left, right, center. The Echo with the Yokai trying to stop the fuse, and it could go down. Corza with the cross angle. Planted 20 seconds. The fuse on the ground. Corza finds one. Can he cut it down? 15 seconds. Can he find kills it easy? Sees the player on top of that. Not a man. They have to get the kills here. They have to stop.
Hello and welcome everyone to what is the very last game of the SSA Super Series group stages. I know it all flew on past, but here we are, the culmination of it all. This will determine who tops the group in Group A and who will be facing who for the playoffs. Really, it's exciting and there's a lot to come. We have a lot to cover and an exciting game to bring to your screens. But before then, Justin, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling a little bit excited about this one. For me, this is probably one of just a little bit. It's one of the biggest games of the group stage. Yes, the groups are locked in. We do know who will be going through to playoffs already. As you said, this is more about just determining who's going to play who in those group stages. But still, I'm excited about this game. It's kind of, we saw a little bit of trash talk on Twitter with James saying he wanted to try and win all the games, but unfortunately they did lose earlier to V-Drop for the people that weren't watching. So I'm a little bit nervous for Levit8, but still, I think this is going to be a very exciting game to watch.
Yeah, so just to give context, proper context to all of this, to what is up, what are the stakes for this game? So everyone is locked for playoffs. I can confirm as of right now, Boolin, XL, Levit8, and V-Drop are making it out of Group A. Over on Group B, it's Nixa, Point One, Regen, and Memphis. All of them are locked. This game determines whether Levit8 places second or third in their Group A, and whether Boolin are basically locked for top. So
yeah,
Levit8 are either, if they end up second, they're playing Regen. If they end third, they're playing Point One. So this game determines who they are playing in their group stage or in their playoffs match. So do you think, and I know this is sometimes a controversial thing to say, that
strategic throwing,
you know where I'm going with this.
I don't believe in that. I believe in that if you play a match, you're playing to win.
So they are going to either play Regen or Point One. If they prefer playing Point One, they will throw this game.
I hope they don't do that. I really do actually hope they don't do that, because I'm of the opinion that if you play the game, you play to win. You don't play to lose. But it is there is that reality of that could be the case. I hope not. But yeah, that is the case. But that could be the case. But looking into it now as well for the group stage, looking into our playoff stage as well, V-Drop did actually, with that upset that they caused into Levit8 earlier today, that got them into playoffs, and not only by getting themselves into playoffs, that's something which we didn't think was going to happen. We thought they were going to have narrowly miss out, which is, so that big upset today, great for them. Unfortunately, they're going to have to fight Nixa in their first playoff game. So
that is tough.
Stay tuned for when that one does happen. It should be a fantastic match. But yeah, it's a tough situation for them. But congrats to them. Congrats to them. Yeah, they got themselves through to playoffs. Something which we didn't even think was going to happen.
So let's just reel this all in. We have Levit8 versus Boolin. We can talk about the nitty-gritty, the iffy, whatever, after this game when we know what is happening. Right here, we have Levit8 versus Boolin. Levit8, the stack, we all know it. Saw, Deception, James Kipana, and AML. These guys are ready and gunning. Coming off of a very big upset loss earlier today against V-Drop. These guys are going to want to prove themselves because they now have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Well, James said he wants to beat... They wanted to go flawless. Unfortunately, that can't happen anymore, but they still want to beat Boolin today. I think it's not just about the placements, it's a little bit about the bragging rights, you know?
Oh, most definitely. Is that not what SSA R6 is? If it's not bragging, I don't know what it is. Well, AML, good transition there. He has something to brag about. A 2.1 KD throughout this tournament. That is absurd. They've played 7 games before this, 74 kills, averaging 7.4 kills a game. No, my math is completely wrong. Averaging 10 point something kills a game.
Yeah, no, he's been doing extraordinarily well throughout this entire group stage so far. We saw him. He didn't really. When we saw him play yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Both.
Both. when we the game that I cast in which we saw him play,
Yeah.
he didn't really have the most influential game in the sense of maybe the kills early on, but he did still do his job. When he wasn't getting kills with the gun, he was getting kills with the C4, he was going and getting kills with the nades, he was doing his job. It's that consistency that he brings to the team. So it's very important that we've been seeing it, and I do think he's gonna need to bring not just the consistency, but a little bit of a flashy plays tonight when him and his team try to take on Boolin.
Yeah, he might not be the flashy player, but he can always be the crutch. So then looking at Boolin, their opposition, it's Mario, Clout, Airy, Mystic, and Divan. It's a scary stack. And it's something that I can promise you, Levit8 going into this, they must be at least a bit scared. They might not show to the outside world, but I promise you, they are a teeny bit scared.
No, look, it's a scary roster. You've got Mystic, extremely mechanically skilled player. Divan being quite a good balanced player. I do think as well he's a very good team leader. Eerie, very good player. Clout, there was a reason why he was picked up to replace. Who did he replace? It was Mitch. And Mario, I don't think he needs an introduction. Everyone knows who he is. He's been in the scene forever. He's been with countless different teams. He's had major impacts in all the different sorts of rosters. You don't need to introduce any of the players in this team. Everyone knows who they are, and everyone's scared of them.
So looking at Airy, the star player for them, 1.3 KD throughout this tournament, 57 on 44. It's nothing to scoff at. Boolin, they've been playing well together as a team. They're just, to me, they are the absolute favorites throughout this entire tournament.
Boolin, are your favorites or Nixon?
They are my favorites.
Ooh. I'm going to go against you with that and say Knicks are the favorites, but yeah,
lies.
No. Yeah, but yeah, there's still the thing of this is a scary roster. Yes, his KD is only 1.3, is not as high as AML's, but don't underestimate him. He is a player that will go huge if you give him the opportunity. That 1.3 is maybe just a more of a thing of he's been playing the team game and not being the one that's been running on top of the leaderboards. Doesn't change the fact he's a scary player. He's extremely capable, and even when he doesn't show up, the rest of the roster is more than capable of picking up for his lack of kills.
Most definitely, and the entire community knows it. I mean, look at Boolin, what they've done in the past. Second Metal State Origi Invitational. Before that, the Kingslayers, winners of the WLE tournament. And it looks like for now, at least, the community is in favor of this. 69% towards Boolin. That is very nice, but Levit8 taking a 31. Maybe after their fumble against V-Drop earlier today, they've kind of lost that pedestal from the community and now have been knocked down just a notch.
I don't know. I think Levit8 are going to have a bit of a lucky clucky game tonight if they want to be able to take this any further, because the problem for them is that game against V-Drop today, yes, they will argue it was a bit of a one-off on their side, but still, it shows that they're not on top of the game as much as they want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, you said they wanted to go flawless here, and that's not possible anymore. The only team that has gone flawless, it's Nixa, and potentially now Boolin.
Yeah. No, and the way I've always seen it is you can claim a game as a once-off all you want in terms of a loss, but it still means that there's stuff to be worked on, because if everything was perfect, then you wouldn't have had that once-off game. That's just the reality of it. So I do think Levit8 have got their work cut out for them here tonight.
So then let's go into the map bans. Let's see where we will be playing this haymaker of a game. It's a lot riding on this map ban, honestly, in my opinion. We've seen Boolin be comfortable on most maps. That isn't to say there isn't a little bit of kryptonite that could absolutely just wreck them. But what is that thing you always say? A game is not won during the map ban.
But it can be lost during the map ban. It's the reality of it. It's a thing of if you choose the wrong maps, you can lose that map ban phase, and it can lose you the match. You choose the right maps, it's not going to win you the match, but it can prevent you from being outright just destroyed. So with that being said, Villa being the first map of the board makes sense to me that we've seen Levit8 play it the past couple of days now. Better to get it off. Don't give Boolin any advantage, especially now that they've actually got a coach on their side who will have been watching those matches and getting some strategic info on them.
Well, as well, Boolin played XL on this map, and depending on who you ask, it was kind of a close game. Not necessarily in the round count, but in the way the rounds played out. I would say that was a very close game. So kind of strange to me that Levit8 will ban that one out. Boolin answering back with Chalet ban, then Cafe banned out by Levit8. So where are we standing on this one? It's too early to call, yes, but you're taken off the iffy maps. No one really loves Villa, Chalet, and Cafe.
Yeah, look, if I look at the players in Levit8 as well, and I think about the past time in the scene, these weren't really the maps that they were known for. The maps that they were a lot better on were maps like Theme Park, Clubhouse, Oregon especially. They were very good on Oregon. So, but with that being said, Oregon has gone off the board. I would have said if I was on Levitate's coach, get rid of Oregon. It's a map which they've loved in the past. They've done very well in the past.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon, it's historical. I would counter that with saying Boolin back in the day were ferocious on Oregon, 7-0 after 7-0. It was almost like Villa for 80k. But back joining the fray, what do we have left now? Are you feeling a board again?
Don't say its name. Don't say its name. Don't say its name.
I'm not saying its name. Clubhouse taken off the board. It's lurking.
Don't say its name. You're gonna curse me. I know you're gonna curse me.
I'm not gonna. We're all waiting in patience. The last band coming out. I'm sorry.
I'm not lucky tonight. But yeah, we will be getting Border. Not a bad map, and I do think as well in terms of these teams. I don't think we've seen either of these teams play it yet so far in this tournament. Have we?
We've seen one Theme Park game.
No. I mean, I don't think we've seen either of these teams play Border yet.
Oh, sorry. No, we've. My brain is lagging. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh yes, Boolin did beat V-Drop earlier on this map, 7-4. So yeah, Levit8 will have had a short while to try and see what Boolin was doing, but still, I think it's a bit of a more neutral ground for these teams. It's a newer map at the map pool. They haven't really all got a lot of experience in it. Yes, there's a little bit of intel for Levit8 to go off of, but still, they haven't had a huge amount of time to work it out yet.
Yeah, you know, they're hot off that loss. Oh, no, W, but yeah. What am I saying? Okay, I just want to give a quick update. We have almost everyone in the lobby. We'll be getting this game to you shortly. I know you're all as hyped as I am. We've already got 50 people in chat. That is a big climb for not even being in the game yet. I think the highest we've peaked in the pre-game lobby was 30-ish, so it seems the community is looking forward to this one. And I want to ask you guys, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I promise you, using hashtag SSAR6, tweeting at us everything, it truly helps out, and you don't know how much. So please join the streams, promote it, send it to your friends, whatever the hell. Also, another thing, because I know this is big in SA, do not have Discord watch parties. You can have watch parties, they're fun, I know, but watch them all on your own, just so you can bump up the views.
Let's just get those views up. But yeah, for the people that have just joined us and maybe weren't here right in the beginning, here's just a little bit of information on the match. It is the final group stage game for the whole tournament, and after this, we'll be going into playoffs. But with that being said, it is a situation now where all the teams for playoffs have been locked in. And just to confirm that to you, it will be Boolin, Exhale, Levit8, and V-Drop in Group A. And in Group B, we have Nixa, Point One, Regen, and Memphis going through to playoffs. So congrats to all those teams. And this match is going to determine whether or not Levit8 will be playing Point One or Regen as their first playoffs game.
And I'm trying to keep an eye on the prediction here. it seems it was 69% to Boolin over on Twitter, but when the channel points are in the play, it seems people are not as confident as they were on Twitter for Levit8, does it?
Oh, well, I've got
Ooh.
5.6k on Boolin.
Okay, so you're maybe swaying it the one way.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm definitely swaying it that way.
how many channel points in total? We've got 31k in this vote, so you know we've got quite a bit in there. Get your votes in. I'm going to see who everyone is supporting. I myself, I think this is a Boolin game through and through.
Yeah, no, I do think it is a Boolin game through and through. I think Levit8, after their loss today, do have some stuff they need to work on. Not to discredit VDrop at all for that. Well played to VDrop, but again, VDrop were in a situation where we weren't even thinking they were going to make it out of groups. So losing to VDrop earlier on says that to me still there's something that Levit8 needs to work on. Something hasn't clicked right.
What would that be? Or what do you think? I know
Well,
it's so hard to speculate, but
yeah,
we've seen quite a bit of play from these teams.
It's basically speculation at this point, but my best guess would be maybe it's just they did pick up a new player and they have had a bit of a roster shuffle. They've changed some positions around in the team. They've changed who's been playing where and what and who's been playing when. And I do think maybe the honeymoon phase is kind of ended and now they're seeing a little bit of we need to work on this and this and this.
Do you think that's promising then? Do you think if they can sort these things out, they would truly be a top contender?
Well, I do think they're a top contender even with the
Yeah.
honeymoon phase being over. It's just, yeah, and look, every team goes through a phase like that where that honeymoon phase ends and there's a little bit of work that needs to get done. It's just the reality of it. It happens with every team. It's just a bit unfortunate that it happened today when they were playing against VDrop, which effectively made that they couldn't finish first in this group anymore.
Yeah, they still had the potential to knock off Boolin because up until that point, they themselves had a perfect record. Not anymore. They've lost. That's, yeah. I'm trying to do my math here and I'm just completely. So they've actually lost a potential of 4 points. So they could still have beaten over Boolin. But even before this game, I believe they won one during overtime. So they'd lost a potential of 1 point.
Yeah, they've lost that potential of 1 point. But at the end of the day, this is still for bragging rights. Yes, it's going to change a little bit for Levit8, but from Boolin's side, it's purely for bragging rights.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't expect them to go all out and throw every strat out that they haven't shown yet.
Are they going to save
But what
strats?
I wouldn't
Are
say
they
a
going to be
full
saving
strat.
strats?
I wouldn't say a full saving strats, but I would expect a bit of more of a not showing anything they haven't shown already.
That is fair. Maybe a more reserved playstyle.
Yeah, that pretty much that precisely. I wouldn't expect them to go, okay, it's the end of the world if we lose this match, because at the end of the day, they're set. No matter what happens, they are playing Memphis first when the playoffs start. So for them, this is more just purely about bragging rights and a fun game for them. Levit8, there's still some stakes on the card. Stakes on the cards.
Cards on the stake?
Is that the same?
No, it's not.
It is not the same. What's the what?
They've got stakes. It's on the cards. You're mixing two phrases. Something can either be on the cards, meaning like it might happen, or like it's a potential, or there are stakes.
Yes, stakes in play, right? Something like
Yes,
that.
stakes on the
Yes,
cards.
yes, something like that. My apologies to the people. You wouldn't think of studying in the UK, would you?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, you're an engineer. It's excused.
It's excused. Yeah. I have just received 2 DMs in Discord that I must shout out Chad Killer. So
Shout out
there it
hints.
is. Now stop DMing me, please.
Also, another question I just want to highlight from Wasteful asked, who are the coaches? You mentioned a Boolin coach. Was
Yeah.
I correct in hearing that? I
I
have not
do
heard this
believe,
news.
yeah. So I do believe Rowan is acting as a sub and a coach at the team at the moment. I'm not
Okay.
entirely sure if he's more sub than coach, but I do believe he's doing it from what I've heard from another team who's quite close to him. It's something like that.
Okay, that is
And then
fair.
on Levitate's side, you've got Sully. He's well known in the scene. He's been around in the wild. Yes, he hasn't had the greatest success since they came to PC, but don't discredit the man. He knows what he's doing.
I'd say they had good success. They were easily top 4 contenders back in
Oh
the
yeah,
day.
no, they've had good success. It's just more they haven't had the success they were originally planning for, I think, when they first showed up.
No, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember this team. What I mean, most of the Levit8 stack. Sure, there have been changes. I mean, Pana saw AML kind of to an extent. He joined later, but I digress. Where they had fought their way through the Metal State Open Series and would just they looked like the next team up on that point, and kind of the same thing for Boolin, although they were they've been around for longer. They were known as Reg Side back in the day. They signed to Bravado. We all know the story. We all know where it led and where it all kind of fell apart. We won't talk about the Metal State ROG Invitational for too long, but you know what happened there. So it's
Yeah.
would you say both of these teams in the past, we've said this tournament, everything is scrapped. No one knows where anyone stands. But in the past, at least, these two teams would be the competition for second, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, second, third. I could say that, yeah. Yeah, I could definitely agree with like a second, third place between them. Boolin, obviously, they had a slightly different roster, not too big of a change there, but they were, my apologies, it's so weird. Please stop DMing me for shoutouts.
Where are they reaching out through?
They're DMing me on Discord and on
Wait,
WhatsApp as well.
wait, how did you
Okay.
let your number leak out?
It's someone who got my number for legitimate purposes of having my number, and they're just deciding to troll me today. But with
Okay,
that being said, we are done rambling. All the players are actually in the lobby now.
there we go. We should be heading into border, doing the final checks, and indeed, both teams readying up. This should be one of the best games I have seen in a long time.
Should be a great game. I'm actually excited for this game. It's been a while since I've been waiting for it, and yeah, to me, this was kind of the main match that I wanted to watch. Yes, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I don't think that Levit8 is on the full steam, but who knows what we're going to get out of it. That being said, we're in the ban phase now. What are you predicting? My ban phase has been terrible so far.
Thatcher, Thinker, Cade, Mirror. But it's an IQ ban that could make sense. That's coming out from Levit8, so maybe they know Valkyrie or other Intel operators are kind of a clutch for Boolin. But let's see who they ban out, because in the past, they've opted for a Thinker ban. Here, they're kind of forced onto the Thatcher ban if they want that off. And indeed, they do.
Yeah, no, they would have gone with the Thatcher ban. I think that that IQ ban is them wanting to play Valkyrie, but I wouldn't be surprised if Boolin just banned it outright, not to have to deal with
There
it.
we go.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Levit8 were trying to hope that they could have Valkyrie on the board, but I do think kind of unfortunately if you ban IQ, you give the game plan away.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I would love to see a world where the defensive bans come first.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
That
could
would
shake
be
things up
very
quite a
interesting.
bit. I've
That
wondered
would
about this for
really shake
so
things
long.
up. No, that could actually shake things up a lot because it completely changes how you can counterban. I think as well we see a lot more Thatcher as a result of it as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to quickly comment before. Now, I know these are only potential picks for the attackers. They were hovering over the ace. They didn't pick it, but I want to comment on Boolin. Their game versus XL a few days ago, they brought out the Sense and the Glass combo. It seemed like a bit of experimentation, like they were still testing the waters with it, but it went southwards. It didn't really work out, and they never really brought it out again. I feel like Boolin are ready to bring out some things we haven't seen before. They are just waiting for the right moments.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that if that's what we see out of Boolin eventually. What I would be surprised about is they start showing us strats now that hidden strats that they're trying to keep away. Especially that Sense hasn't seen the amount of play yet. We saw a little bit out of Levit8. We saw them give it a try. Didn't work.
Yeah.
So they're just going to have to figure something out. And I'm not quite sure. Well, I'm not even sure how to play the Sense, to be honest. Because for me, it's still the problem of why wouldn't you just use Ying with smoke next?
Because Sensko vroom.
Because Sensko room, that's a good point. But that being said, the
But
map
no, but
first
genuinely,
round
you can
started-
roll those things in positions where you would not be able to get smoke canisters.
That is unfortunate. That is actually the hard breacher off the board for Vibin, not for
Is
Vibin.
this-
For Boolin, not the good
Okay.
start.
I don't want to sound like I am tearing any of these teams down. We know team kills happen. I'm just gonna say this. I don't mean too much with it, but I was hoping for one of the better games coming out of this group stage.
Well, look, I
How
think
are you gonna open with a team kill?
it's not the ideal start, if we're being honest, but they do still have the can openers on Eerie, so it is not the end of the world at least. They're just going to have to change the way that they're wanting to get into the sides a little bit. But Levit8 have opted to completely extend up into the top floor. Pretty standard for what you'd expect to see on Border. What I'm not quite sure about is why we're not seeing a roam clear up there. As I said, that I do see Divan is up here now.
Yeah, so there is at least a bit of presence. They've posted up the mute, but you know, they don't really have to answer into him. They spot out the one player in square, and he's going to try and answer back onto it. Pana shut down, but on the brink of defeat, finds a second life, and now he's trying to challenge on towards CCTV. They know of his position. He has his grave dug. He is stuck on those stairs, but he is still left to linger.
Yeah, he's left to linger there. Eerie is somewhat aware there's a player position there. Pana's in a nice spot here. He can essentially just... He's only got two doors to watch. They're both in the same spot, and it's an area which the attackers really need to get control of it. If they leave him out, he will be an extremely dangerous flank. Pana does find Divan. It's all down to Eerie and Mystic now.
Oh, it feels like this Boolin attack is just falling apart. As I say that, at least they find Pana, but really, it feels kind of sloppy. A team kill, a player isolated, and you allow them to get 2 more kills on top of it? Surely that isn't what you wanted, and it really isn't. 30 seconds left on the board. They have 2 players left that they have to try and force something to happen. On the site, you've got Kiba Barricades coming out from AML, who has done them dirty. The can openers will connect, and then we'll find an avenue onto the site, but realistically, what can you do? 15 seconds, you need to get that diffuser down, and you need to cover these angles. Airy left to cover, AK-12 in hand, finds one. Can he get the second? There's one to challenge from 2 avenues. They take control, they overpower, and they take control of the bomb site. It's Levit8 with a strong opener.
Yeah. Good opener from Levit8. Sloppy from Boolin. That's not the spawn peak. The team kill, not a good way to start your game. But even off of that, they did still have the can openers. They just didn't get any of the territory they needed.
I mean,
The round started off bad, and it didn't really get better.
they were contesting the territory, they just lost.
Yeah, they just didn't win the territory that they needed. That's the better way to describe it, I think.
Yeah.
They managed to force their way into the site there at the end. Well done to them for getting that right, but it was a very sloppy round up until that point, and even then in the post plant it was kind of, well, what can you do, you know? You're in a 2v5.
Yeah, it's a hard ask, and they did what they could. Eventually it wasn't enough. You can't really blame them for them. Outside circumstances that Airy and I can't remember the other one in the clutch couldn't really take care of. That's fine. Done and dusted. 1 round gone. It's your attack. It doesn't mean that much. But there needs to come a point where you reset and you start taking the bull by its horns, because you are in control of the bull. It is your bull. You have to lead it somewhere.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, definitely. This is a map where as well the attackers can really dictate the pace somewhat, but again, the defenders will also obviously be returning this dictation. But it is mostly the attackers who can really dictate the pace on this. One thing that is a little more interesting to me there is that echo that we saw up top.
I haven't seen Echo on Border in ages, but I remember one strategy, especially here on lockers, and I can't even remember the site name. Oh no, what is happening to me? Okay, Echo. There's this one spot on a cupboard up top, elevated, where you can't shoot it out. It doesn't look like he's playing that very position, but look at this. Feeding intel.
He's getting he's getting a huge amount of intel with his drone. The second one's sitting there as well. Yes, the drone can get spotted out and shot there, but as AML gets the first kill onto Mystic, a lot of intel that's being fed here by Panda and just allowing AML and James to hold. James is sitting in a very nice position here. I do believe AML does have a bit of a vertical upwards angle as well. They have started their work on the reinforced wall there, though.
It is a very tiny point. I know Valkyrie mains are sad about the change about outside utility, but Echo is laughing all the way to the bank because from now on, his yokai drones can stay out for as much as 10 seconds, where previously they can only do 3. That Echo yokai is feeding intel and it is already guaranteed them 1 kill. On the side though, they find the bandit, a bit of an avenue onto site, opened up. They tear it open as Boolin are onto the site. Oh wait, it's down below. They've fumbled. They've confused even me.
Yeah, it's down below. One thing of note though, Mario, this is the first, obviously the only second round of the game, but he didn't get team killed and he's got 2 kills. He's had the influence that was needed. They've got one of the hard walls open, they've got James gone, they've got Deception gone. Yes, they do still have to deal with, I do think 1 yokai drone left they have to deal with. There's still Frost and AML on the board, but it's looking a lot better so far for Boolin. It's looking a lot less sloppy so far.
It's a very good start because look at the top floor, it's completely clear. These Echo yokais are still left to feed the info, yes, but looking at the defense, they don't have C4s, they have impacts, but those Pokeballs don't hit as hard as Divan from the side, shutting him down. I said they're like a team of bulls that need to control it, but right now they're a bull in a china shop. They are just breaking everything left, right, and center. Finds it 1 kill, tries to trade it onto a second, but Boolin will answer back and they will go into this night with no fear in their heart.
I love how Cloud just dropped down onto the server hatch with the perfect timing as Panna got off that Echo drone. It was the perfect timing for him to drop down there because essentially it made that Panna didn't have any time to actually move and get a different angle to actually engage that fight.
It's something that during the Boolin XL game, we kind of criticized XL for not following up on their droning. I feel like Boolin are executing this almost flawlessly.
Yeah, look, it was a much better round out of them. Maybe it was just Mario actually being alive. Maybe after that first round, they said to themselves, yeah, guys, that was really sloppy. Let's fix it up. But that was a lot more like what we were expecting to see out of the likes of Boolin. The question is, can Levit8 keep up with it? Because they lost that top floor control really early on, and they weren't able to do anything about stopping them. But just looking at it now, they have actually not gone to the bottom floor again. They've just opted to come to the top floor. One of the favorite sites of most teams, probably because it's one of the easiest ones to defend as well.
I really like this variation coming out of border. You don't see it enough. Usually teams just go here to armory and lockers and they just play it out. That's the crutch place for most people, but I always say variety is the spice of life. Why not mix things up? Why not catch them off guard? It's always fun, especially as viewers. Talking about that, almost 60 people in chat. I appreciate you. We loved you. But interestingly, those keeper barricades being used to deny vertical angles, we haven't seen nearly enough of that.
Yeah, we haven't seen nearly enough of that so far, and I love the fact that we're seeing it being played. I do also love the fact that the way that, again, the fact that there's Echo on the board. This is one of the maps not only where Echo is where intel is extremely powerful, because every floor is soft, C4s can be used everywhere. But Echo as an operator, I feel, has always been kind of in the shadows because of operators like Valkyrie.
Yeah, I mean, when Valkyrie's banned out, like say, you have to almost use that Echo because you really have no other way of feeding intel. Pana is trying to find that engagement. The yokais are important, yes, but that MP5 SD kicks like nothing else. I'm trying to make their way onto the side with the bandit. What is that? He escapes with his life? How does that go unpunished?
He escaped with 5 HP there. I would say that, yeah, like you said, he escaped with that unpunished. That is not the way that should have happened there. Mystic should have killed him, but with that being said, he is going to be a lot more cautious now. He's not going to have a lot of room to move around. The wall will be going open now, so Boolin have got half of the job done now. They just need to try and force their way in here.
Might have only been 1 round, but that very first round was kind of sloppy for Boolin right now. It seems they found the panic here. There is nothing that can stop them. They find the opener. There's a trade though. We might have spoken too soon. Levit8 still trying to challenge. They found one positive engagement with a bandit. It might have not ended too well for Saw, but he's still left to challenge. A Gon 6 will shut him down, put him in a DBNO state now. Mystic on to the bomb site. The plant is going down, but the challenge coming through. He can't do anything. It's a triple kill for Mystic. He is looking to tear them apart at the seams. Deception is down, Enable sailed through. There is nothing Levit8 can do. The diffuser confirmed, the kill confirmed. It's an ace for Mystic.
Was it an ace for Mystic?
It was an ace for Mystic.
The nade said Eerie.
He got the down then.
Oh,
it still counts as the ace.
Yeah, okay. Well done, Mystic. We have seen other aces so far in the tournament, but still, very well done. Very nicely executed ace. Again, that looked good from Boolin. It wasn't sloppy. Yes, they took a little bit of time to actually get the wall open, but once they did, they got the quick pick that they needed onto the Echo. They got rid of the utility and simultaneously getting rid of Saw as a result of getting rid of that utility that they had, and they just forced their way in and collapsed it on the site. That's what I'm expecting to see from top tier Siege. How are Levit8 going to answer back on that?
They are... Okay, I want to pose you this question, and we have debated at ends about this in the past, so I want to keep this kind of brief, but border, defender, or attack decided.
Balanced.
Okay, so as Levit8, would a 3-3 half be suffice?
I would say that's kind of the minimum that they're looking to walk out of it with, yeah.
Okay, so they need 2 more over 3 rounds. That's fine, that's doable. But you can't start trailing in this game. We saw it out of Boolin. There was a time when XL in their game against Boolin, I think 2 days ago, started to mount a comeback, and it struck Boolin kind of off guard. You can't let that happen here with Levit8. You can't let Boolin run away with this. As I say that, there we go, he shuts down Deception.
Yeah. We saw early deaths early on. Oh, was it actually counter? Oh, I think Deception was actually trying to do a spawn peek or a jump out or something there, and they got themselves killed. But yeah, not a great start there. Yes, Jaeger is only a gun, but it's a gun that I think Levit8 really desperately need at the moment.
Yeah, you always need all the gunpowder you can get.
Yeah, you always need all the gunpowder you can get, especially when there's Cloud running around with an LMG and just spraying into every corner.
Just quickly, we have a little bit of a lull time, I want to apologize. Border is kind of glitched at this point in time. If you're a casual viewer and you don't really know what's happening, these fragments are because of a known issue. They cannot be sorted by us right now, but Saw finds an answer back. Importantly, he's looking for a second, challenges onto the window. He needs to keep control of this fountain area, but that doesn't even matter when Mario has found his way onto the site. They have sold them hook, line, and sinker. They have focused too much on fountain and office, but look at this. Mario, he has the diffuser, and he is on site, ready to plant.
Not
Harry
on site,
pushing
sir.
down.
Site's downstairs.
They confused me again, but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They just walked into the top floor and didn't even need to go near the site. Levit8,
Yeah.
I'm worried now. You've done your complete rotation. You've won 1 defense so far, and that defense was off of Boolin playing sloppy. Call your timeout and get yourselves together, because right now you're looking like you're outgunned, outclassed, outstrategized. Just
They really
in my opinion.
sold me on the top floor bomb site twice.
Yeah, they really did do that to you, didn't they?
How have they done this? Okay, let's just leave that be. This time it is top floor. I can see that with my own eyes. Okay, let's not get confused again. Yes, I'm talking to myself. Okay, let's look at this defensive lineup. Jamesky, the first time a mirror has been brought in this game, kind of strange for me, with their reliance on AML with the keeper barricades. Those 2 operators sync oh so well together. You can use those mirror windows, sit behind them, sit pretty, and just wait. AML, you can use those keeper barricades when the pressure comes, shut down those angles. So you've got 1 passive operator, which creates angles, and 1 active operator, which denies angles. Those 2, in conjunction, amazing.
Yeah, very good. I think it was a good change that they made there. The mirror coming in, maybe it might just be the change that they need. They do need to be a bit cautious though. This is one of the maps where up nades are extremely powerful.
That word
The
every time
upgrades.
catches me off guard.
Yeah, I caught myself off guard now when I was saying it. But also, one thing I want to point out is that that deployable shield is placed backwards. And some people might be confused why you would do that. The reason is simple. If you place it backwards, it actually covers the angle a tiny bit better. The downside is you can't see through it as well.
Yeah, the shield has about a 15-degree bend to either side. If you place that down the other way, it just kind of helps. But Cloud, the updates, you were talking about them, they're oh so vicious. The keeper barricades used to deny even further updates, but that doesn't matter. Punna, injured, finally healed back up, but this is looking like a team oppressed.
Yeah, this is a team that's been oppressed. They haven't even when Boolin aren't even in the site or in the map yet, they're already losing lives into small peaks. But as I said, Cloud just jumps into the site with the machine gun and he's just gunning everyone down. He's gonna get swung with a mirror, but the mirror does finally shut him down on Jameski. But that was not what Levit8 wanted. AML does get eerie though, so he has evened out the numbers a little bit. But during all of that, Mario has managed to open up one of the walls and route into sight. So there is actually a way for the plant to go down here, and I don't think any of the players of Levit8 are aware. Jameski is definitely not aware of the plant going down here.
Cloud, a man possessed. The diffuser goes down and Jameski can't do anything. He's stuck in small cubby, and there's a keeper barricade blocking him. He's gonna have to resort to a C4 to open up the angle, but that gives away his position. That oh big boom. Well, now they know where you are, my friend. Trying to challenge, trying to peek. He doesn't know. He's having a look, but he can't even see where they're coming from. They have the diffuser from down below. It's locked and ready. There's nothing he can do in the situation. Shut down. Boolin will take it 4-1. Oh my word.
Yeah, there's the tack time. I would have taken it previous round because I think it is needed right now. I'm not quite sure why he called attack instead of just pushing the button himself. Okay. There we go. We did, for the people that aren't aware, there was a little situation earlier in the group stages where there was a team that didn't know you have to actually push the button yourself now. But Levit8 have got to change something here. Because I don't think it's on the strategic side they need to change something. I think something's happening in the roster at the moment. I think the players aren't feeding themselves. They aren't coordinating nicely. Because they're just getting picked off one by one by one.
Yeah, and Cloud just walked onto site.
Yeah, Cloud just walked onto site. So
there's no way to excuse that.
Yeah, there's no way to excuse that. Either one of two things. Either someone wasn't watching what they were meant to, or someone wasn't on the intel devices that they were meant to be on. One or the other. Yes, there was a bit of pressure on one of the players had been killed and another one was on extremely low HP right as Cloud jumped into the window. Shouldn't change it though. They should know what to do. They should know if that person's dead. I need to keep an eye on that window.
Bit of banter in chat. Worst mirror strat ever at Sali, throwing shade to the coaches. Sali, are you going to take that one laying down?
Oh, you got to be careful. There's another Sali in the lobby as well. He lives he's playing for the other team.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've got two Salis in the lobby for the people that don't know. One's a coach, and the other one is Clout on their own bravado.
Oh no, the Salis in spades. Okay.
Yeah.
We're back to bathroom. This was the only site that worked out for Levit8 in the past. This is the only one they've won.
Yeah, it makes sense to go back there, but the problem is last time they went here, Boolin just walked all over them on the top floor. They didn't even need to go down to the site.
Yeah, they tried to force the plant, but the round was won in that early phase.
Yeah, I do think Levit8 had the right idea when they... Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, keeper barricades are finicky.
Yeah. I do think Levit8 had the right idea committing so much to the top floor on that previous time they were here. It's a good idea to have that top floor presence, especially on the site. You can completely control one half of the site just from the top floor alone. But don't commit everyone up there to the point where your entire team can get gunned down by a single LMG rushing through.
Yeah, it needs to be a return to form for Levit8, because like you said, they've had an ace come out from, I believe it was Mystic. They've had Clout just run onto site. You can't have that happen. Levit8, you need to hunker down, bunker down, make sure of every single teeny tiny little thing. As now the attack is making its way in, that point of ingress being felt from top of these stairs. Mystic as well, entering from Armory. He might enact a pincer movement onto this mute if he's not ready.
Yeah, there's definitely the potential of a pincer movement coming out here onto mute. He does have Deception there for support, but Deception is actually, his job is more to be watching the hatch, watching that window behind him, and watching what's happening in the corridor. Mystic, there's a bit of teamwork coming out here. Nade doesn't position itself quite right, but they are aware that there's someone playing in that position now. So they're just
I think he's trying to bounce it off the
here.
banister. Oh, but the ADS catches it. The shotgun bounces it. Jameski took it next. That is how you open it. That is how you answer back. The mute jammer shutting down the Selma. This is everything going the way of Jameski, left to Foster in that position. Eventually finds the trade, but it's Deception from the side to answer back. Looking for the second, he can't find it.
Yeah. Much better there, start there from Levit8 on the round, but unfortunately it's fallen back into that situation again of their players just crumbled around them. Now it's all about Salt Panna again. We have seen big rounds coming out of these two in the past game, but if they want to get another round on the board for their team here, they're going to have to make it really big. We've seen Mario, Cloud is still alive. We've seen huge games out of Cloud, huge plays out of Cloud so far in this match, him just hopping to the side. Devon over here trying to establish a crossfire. Well, Cloud just see what he can do, and he gets the first kill. That's all gone. It's all about the Panna. Cloud with an LMG, Panna does choose to swing, but he can't really move. Everywhere he goes, he missiles and shots there, unfortunately, and Cloud shuts him down with the LMG spray again.
Forced out to his final bits, whips out the bearing 9 in a desperate attempt to clutch back to any semblance of a round victory, but they can't find it. It's Boolin on the half, ending at 5-1. Levit8 must be feeling this. I mean, there's no way that they are happy with this result in this half.
And for the people that are going to say, oh, but it's an attacker-sided map, you are always going to get that one person, let's be honest. This is an extremely not attacker-sided thing that we saw here. This was something else. This was just Boolin being completely outclassed. Sorry, not Boolin, Levit8 being completely outclassed.
I just have to mention it. Cloud on that Finca is a menace.
Oh, he's a menace.
9 and 6 at this point in time? How the hell? How the hell is that allowed to happen? He just walks in, waltzes on through.
9? That's 9 and 3, Jacques.
9 and 3, even better.
That's a bit more scary.
Wait, it's 9 and 2. It's KDA. It's not K80.
Oh, it's KDA. It's 9 and 2. That seems about right. Yeah, that is terrifying. Cloud has been a menace so far in that LMG. On the other side, we haven't even seen. Oh, we do have Source. I do believe they were going to have one LMG there. This is what we talk about when the LMG meta needs a bit of nerfing. We saw with Cloud there that ability to just keep spraying at different angles. You're not going to comment on that?
You can just shut down an angle.
Yeah.
Just say no. You can't walk here.
Yeah, but not to discredit Cloud. He's been playing great so far this game, and he's been doing his job well. Looking into it now, Levit8 have got a tough time on their hands. They've got very little room for error, and I mean, like, as if they lose one round here, then Boolin will let themselves on match point.
Oh, my heart just skipped a beat. Divan wanted to go for the run out. He opts for the impact. Oh, but like I said, my heart just skipped a beat there. He didn't know there was someone on the other side from beyond the fog of war. Of course, we can see there's someone. He didn't know that. I promise you, he had a little bit of a jump scare there. Siege at times can be the scariest of games. As Jameski loses his life, it's a good opener for Boolin. They transfer it onto a second. Mystic has already found an ace early in this game, and he shuts them down again. How is this allowed to keep happening?
That should not have been allowed to happen. Deception does finally answer back. Mystic is off the board, but by now, you've lost your ace. You've lost your sledge. That's your vertical blade gone. That's your heart breach gone. Sword does manage to find Cloud though, so it is a fuse name off the board at least. But Eerie does miss a bit of his shots there and does get down. AML starting to make a bit of territory here, but yeah, minute and 30 left. Levit8 are sitting in a bit of a man count advantage here nicely. They've got Mario still up on the mute. Boolin still have Mario up on the mute. Divan has still got their... they've also still got their Melusi. Not a lot of util to work with here. Levit8 have got a minute to try and figure something out here, but Deception shuts down Divan. That means it's all down to Mario now sitting here in sight.
Triple kill for Deception. He's doing well to pull it in back, because it seemed like a done deal, but they have gotten back into this round. Now it's just Mario left to try and do something with this. Earlier on, They rotated AML down below to try and use some upnades potentially, but that wasn't needed. They found a very important kill onto Mystic, I believe it was. No, Divan. Sorry, I have to correct myself, but the plant is going down, and there's no way to deny it with the C4. Opens up with the shotgun. It seems he has a bit of intel. The C4 from below. It isn't in time. He pops it. He gets the kill, but it's too late. 40 seconds left now.
I don't know why he didn't push the button. He hesitated and the plant is down in the results, and now he's in a bit of one hell of a retake situation here. He's got a huge amount of time pressure here. AML is holding down this cross, so I don't know how Mario is going to be able to do this.
He's surely going to get shredded from the side. He knows he's there. Potentially, he could just run at this. Goes for it. He's on the other side of a reinforced wall. Maybe you can force the position. 12 seconds left. Within the next 3 seconds, he needs to be on that diffuser. If not, this is a done deal. This is Levit8 coming back into it.
Levit8 yeah, even if Saw dies here, Levit8 have got themselves a round on the board. Well, another round on the board. Better. But they still don't have a lot of breathing room, so Levit8 are going to have to keep doing this round after round after round. And credit where credit was due, it was a better round out of Levit8, I do believe, but still, they were still making the mistakes of allowing players to get away with things they shouldn't. How was Mystic allowed to get 2 kills there? How was Divan allowed to swing that with a Pokeball in his hand and still get away alive?
Also, just quickly, I feel like I have to say Airy. I don't usually say it, but I kind of feel like he costed them that round. Had he gotten the kill onto the Zofia, it would have put them in a 3v2.
Yeah, maybe.
He would have still had control of CCTV, pushing it maybe 20 seconds more into that round, would have forced Levit8 to make a move onto the site, a man down. I really think that was the kill that kind of lost them that round.
Yeah, I do think it was, yeah, you're right, Eerie missing his shots there, I do think, but I do also think that Eerie could have just played that better. Just because, when we're saying he cost him the round, it's not because he didn't get the kill, it's because he died. That's what cost him the round.
Yeah, more so. If they had more time, it probably would have been a round for Boolin.
Yeah, but looking into it now, Boolin have opted to go back to the same site. They're saying, okay, we made mistakes, we played sloppy again, we're gonna fix it. Levit8 managed to win that round, but they still made a lot of the same mistakes that we saw out of them before. We saw Mystic and Divan being allowed to do things that they shouldn't be allowed to. Divan was allowed to throw a Pokeball at Saul's face and just dip away.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I really don't, because he had that angle locked down. He just reared his head, threw a Pokeball, and said, nothing more.
Yeah. Look, well played to Divan there. He got himself out with his life, and he managed to get a vertical play, which slowed down Levit8 even more. Unfortunately, he wasn't really able to capitalize any further off of that there. Levit8, on the other hand, I do still think, yes, they've got 2 rounds on the board now. They've still got a bit of work to do to prove to me that they can actually win this match. They still haven't got a lot of room for error, but there is droning, but that is self-droning coming up, but there's going to be a pincher here. The player is aware that the other players jumped in, and Saul gets to open onto Divan.
Saw, what are you doing? He finds a blind spray through the wall to injure Clout, shuts down Divan? My oh my, he is doing bits.
I think Clout got caught in a crossfire when...
Yeah, no, literally, he just got banged through 2 walls.
Yeah, he just got caught in a weird crossfire during the engagement with Divan there, so that was not what Clout was looking for. So, obviously, refrag potential also being lost there. But Clout does still live to see another day, and he does find Saw as punishment. He's slowly making his way back up into the main... Yeah,
he's making his way on him.
Yeah. Yes, he did get downed, but he did get Saw back as a punishment. That's the NMG gone, and the utility gone, and he does find AML as well. Nade's gone. Clout. He's doing his job here. He doesn't need an NMG. He doesn't need HP. He's just getting the kills anyway. James, though, is trying to get a little bit aggressive here to try and figure out a way in here, but it still isn't working. They haven't even got the wall open yet, but a minute left. They've still got some time to make it work.
Out with the jaws of death locked around his neck, pries them open and says, not today. On 20 HP, finds 2 hella important kills for them. That slows down Levit8's attack oh so much. The flash is coming through. They don't have nades. They can't get that new jammer off the wall. They need to funnel on through this doorway, and they have no time to go down below and shut down the mute jammer. They say the extra juice is not with the squeeze, and Clout is looking for the second ace in this game for Boolin. Shut down though. Okay, Levit8, is there a chance? I think not.
Cloud again a little bit upset about the way he died there, but Deception, ooh, just narrowly. Oh, that was Mario, my apologies. Escapes away his life. Eerie gets the final kill with the shotgun onto Deception. Boolin on a match point.
I know.
We thought, we both of us thought this was going to be a Boolin victory, yeah?
You beforehand predicted a 7-4.
Yeah. I predicted
didn't have,
a 7-4.
Yeah, I didn't have chance to actually enter my prediction, but I would have said a 7-3. Seems both of us might be incorrect. It might be over faster than we might have expected. It's match point, yes. That doesn't mean Levit8 can't clutch this back. There is still a chance.
Yeah,
but Boolin are just styling on them.
Yeah, we've seen some big comebacks. Well, almost complete comebacks come out throughout this tournament. I do believe we actually saw one the other. Yes, was it yesterday?
What game are you referring to?
It was a Levit8 game, actually, wasn't it?
Levit8
and Exhale.
Oh, true.
Yeah, we saw Exhale making a huge comeback. Unfortunately, they didn't able to close it up, but they got themselves all the way back to match point. But Levit8,
yeah, it ended 8-7.
I do think Levit8 though have got their work cut out for them here, because they've got zero room for error and they're making a lot of errors.
Interestingly enough, Boolin has picked up the Kona stations.
Yeah.
I think that's an operator that suits them perfectly. You've seen how many times a player is left alive with a blinking health bar and still is able to shut them down. Now just imagine what he can do with a full health bar. That is what this operator enables, and that is what Levit8 need to be able to answer back to on their attack if they want any chance of bringing a comeback to your screens tonight.
I think that was Cloud who was specifically asking for that, because we saw in that round, we saw him get down to a wall accidentally, and we saw him get 3 brilliant kills. Well, no, even more than that, actually, wasn't it 4?
Oh, he was on the ace.
Brilliant kills, even though he was sitting on 20 HP. So I think he's very much like, oh, just give me more HP, guys. I'll just ace every round. I think that's kind of what his mindset is, and that's a scary mindset to be going against.
I mean, 13-4, you can back up that claim. It's not an empty statement.
It is not an empty statement at all. So, again, yeah, it really makes sense. As you said, we've seen the players. We saw, like, Divan there swinging and getting away with their lives, just a bit of damage. And as I say, that Cloud gets the first kill onto Saw, and he doesn't even take any damage, so he's not going to need a Kona station.
What is this? How? How does this happen? I cannot wrap my brain around this. As a team, Levit8 now have suffered this man's wrath. Round after round, he is on 15-4. Boolin on the precipice of a game win. They finally shut him down, but it's not enough, and it's definitely too late. In a 1v3, Punna left to clutch this back. An impact on the side. He finds one kill, yes, but you have to ask yourself, is it too little, too late? Because it is match point. It is Boolin, oh so hungry to end their group stage flawlessly, to battle onto Nixa, their only true opponents in this tournament. Mystic with the PMM, he shuts him down with a one-tap, and if that doesn't encapsulate this entire game, I don't know what does. Boolin are looking so strong, and they are heading into the playoff stage with a reputation to scare off anyone.
Oh, that was a clean game from Boolin. I am so excited for a certain matchup now after just watching how Boolin played this.
Oh my, okay.
And you know what matchup I'm waiting for.
I know what you're talking about, but before we highlight even later games during whatever stage of this tournament, let's take a wrap and talk about the standings now, because every single position is locked for playoffs. From Group A, it's Boolin, Exhale, Levit8, and V-Drop in that order. From Group B, it's Nixa, Point One, Regen, and Memphis in that order.
One thing that's surprising to me, well, not surprising to me, but one thing I think that do needs being said for some people in the community who might be surprised by it. Well done to Exhale. They've had
Oh,
a brilliant
definitely.
group stage. They've had an absolutely brilliant group stage so far. I was expecting them to make it out of groups. I wasn't expecting them to be sitting in second place though.
They weren't even going to be in this tournament at one stage. They were a late entry. Here they
Yeah,
are, and my oh my, here they are.
yeah. My oh my, Excel, you've impressed me a lot so far in this group stage. Boolin are looking scary. Levit8, I think have got some work to do now. Like I said, I think that honeymoon phase is over, and there is something that needs to be figured out here because, yikes, that was unfortunately not what they were wanting out of that.
Yeah, they would have wanted more. They said they wanted to go flawless. Unfortunately, that dream isn't going to play out for them. That doesn't mean that they don't have a chance still. Levit8
Yeah.
now will be playing Regen. Am I correct? No, I'm incorrect in saying that. They're going to be playing point 1 for their spot at the LAN.
Yeah, they'll be playing point 1 for their spot at the LAN. Boolin will be playing against Memphis. You will have Nixa against V-Drop and Exhale against is it what's the other team? Is it Regen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the upcoming matches coming up as a result of these group stages. A lot of exciting matches. One that I'm looking forward to is V-Drop and Nixa. I think that's going to be a really good game. V-Drop obviously being Levit8 earlier, so they've got a lot to show for themselves.
I think every single one of these games is going to be a big one. Because these teams have time on their side. They have time to prepare. And they have some of the biggest stakes they have ever felt. A LAN.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huge stakes up. Stakes up. Huge stakes.
Stakes on the cards.
Stakes in the cards. Huge stakes coming up as a result. And yeah, I do think Levitate have got some work to do now. But luckily, all these teams do have a couple days off now to go and put in the work and to get themselves ready for the group for playoffs. For the people that aren't really familiar with the bracket, it's even higher stakes in the fact that there is no elimination bracket. If you lose, you're out. That's your shot at the LAN gone.
A
So
single
every match,
BO3.
yeah, every match, every map is going to be incredibly important from now on. You cannot afford to make mistakes. You cannot afford to have an off day because it will mean that you do not get the opportunity to go to LAN.
That's scary. That is. I feel that. As not even a player, someone who is externally involved, I can imagine that pressure on your shoulders and pushing down on your chest. Because everyone wants a LAN. It's what we've been asking for, praying for the last, what, 3, 4 years?
Yeah, pretty much. It's what we've been waiting for since the vid showed up.
What?
COVID, the vid.
Oh.
It sounds better when you call it the vid. It sounds like
I mean, even before the vid, there hasn't been a LAN.
yeah, not that I can remember actually. There was a console one.
Yes, but that's console.
Yeah, that's console. We don't care about console. We care about the PC side. And someone else who cares about the PC side is I do see Sully is waiting for an interview there. Unfortunately, his team did lose, but should still be interesting to hear what he has to say.
Are we gonna pop him in here?
Yeah, let's pop him in here.
Sure.
Hello, meneer Sully.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that loss? I know it's kind of not what you guys were hoping was going to come out today.
We don't really, I wouldn't say we feel like bad or anything. We're all chilled. Doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
it's our boys, Boolin me. We always want them to do the best, even though they
Yeah.
win us, we'll get them. We'll get them. The time's coming. They can't always be on top.
That's a good way to look at it. And one thing I wanted to ask, I wanted to actually ask about the start.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of felt that, obviously, that first round, I feel that Boolin were a little bit sloppy. But after that, it looked like you guys were struggling to keep by. Is it maybe something, we were talking about this in the pregame, because obviously you guys lost to V-Drop earlier. Is it maybe that there's something in the team that needs a little bit of working on, or is it just an off day, or what?
So it's more of one of our worst days of Siege we've ever played, but yeah, that happens sometimes. You can't just play at your best all the time. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's not it's none of the like big mistakes I could say. It's just small things that we'll work on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. I mean, there were some rounds where we were commenting on you guys struggling with the basics, but like you said, there are just times when things don't really work out. I'm not even going to try and pressure you into answering what it is or theorizing about it. You like it
I
just
can.
happens.
I'll tell you what it is. It's took your clout. He happens. It's insane. Yeah, he's just
Metaphor.
cracked out his mind. Yeah, he's just cracked out his mind. He's a part. Apparently the beta Sali, which yeah doesn't feel well.
The beta Sully, we were talking earlier today, the duels of the Sully was this somewhat. Unfortunately, you weren't actually in the match to make it a proper duel.
Yeah.
But I want to ask now, group stages are done. You guys are locked in. You've got third place. You're going to be going against, was it point one you said, Kanye?
Uh, Excel versus point one.
Oh, so it'll
No. Sorry,
be,
Levitate point
yeah,
one.
yeah. So how are you liking the fact that you're playing against point one in going into the first round of the playoffs?
Honestly, we don't really care. We play. We're gonna show up. We're gonna get our scrims in, get our prac in this week before the
Yeah.
playoffs, and then we're gonna beat whoever it is. We don't even know who the teams are, who's on that team. So yeah, whoever's there, we'll take them on.
Okay.
That's fair enough. I mean, you need to go into every game like it might be your last, and that game might be the playoff stage single elim. Is that a scary thing? Do you feel like a single elim to determine a LAN spot is sufficient? I don't know. I don't really know what way to put it, but if you understand what I'm saying, like,
Nah, I
does
don't,
that put more pressure on you guys?
nah, not at all. If anything, it hypes us like even more that we need to be playing at our best, and yeah, we'll play at our best. If anything, it puts like we've been at this point where we need to like we need to win a game to make top four so that we can go to something. Because that happened in ROG. We were on the ropes and then we still managed to pull it through. So we've been here already. I don't know if the other team's been there. So the pressure's on them really, not really us. We know what it's like.
Yeah, so you guys are saying you're not feeling the pressure. You just know it was just small mistakes today that you need to sort out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then one last thing I wanted to ask. Obviously, Boolin you said it yourself, they're a tough opposition. They're a very good team. And they're also your friends. You want them to do well. But were you expecting them to be this tough as what you saw today?
Uh, they're really strong on board and like we're not that I wouldn't say we're not practice on it, but it isn't one of our best maps, but we want to try it out, see what we can do. And yeah, it was a good showing from them and yeah, we'll learn from it. This is just the exposed threats, I'll steal.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Uh,
Well, that's actually the last question I had. I don't know, Kanye, do you have some more?
I think I'm good. I'm just gonna say good luck on your endeavors in the playoffs. I truly hope for your
Yeah.
part that you guys can end up on that LAN.
I
Yeah,
hope
and
so.
and well done for getting through the playoffs actually, and good luck for the future with attempting to get to the LAN.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your evening. Thanks, guys.
Isn't
You
it?
too, Sally. Cheers, cheers. Yeah. So, like they said, like we heard Sally say there, Levitate feel that today just really wasn't a good day for them. That not necessarily something big being wrong, but more that it was just small things, and it just wasn't a good day of siege for them.
That is fair. I can tell you, I had a bad day of Siege today. I've been playing solo queue ranked earlier. I went from Silver 4 to Bronze 2. It happens.
Oh, that is painful.
I've
I,
posted clips on Twitter. I'm not going to go on a tangent about it, but it happens.
that is painful. I can't remember the last time I wasn't in plat.
I think this is the lowest rank I've ever been in my life.
Oh, that is painful. No, 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 no.
If there's
But with
someone
that
in
being
chat,
said,
save me.
yeah, someone in chat, please save this man. I would, but I don't like playing ranked.
Fair enough.
But with that being said, I don't think we're going to be getting an interview from. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting an interview on the side of Boolin here. We have not received any of their players hopping into the lobby. So, yeah, that is the group stage done, guys. For the people that were here throughout it, thank you for joining us so much for the group stage. It's not the end of the tournament yet. It's still going to be coming. There's still a big LAN to be coming on. all that needs to happen now is just a little bit, a couple days off for the teams just to relax and to find themselves and just start to the prep work. High stakes games coming up. Hope you all come and join us and bring your friends and get the viewership up.
Yeah, stay up to date with the socials. You'll see on the Twitter, on the Discord, on the Instagram page, even when the games will be happening. All will be announced. The schedule, the teams, everything. Just follow, subscribe. All of the words, all of the hot phrases, every piece of lingo. You get the gist of it. Stay up to date because hot games are coming to your screen.
Hot games coming up. But with that being said, we had an entertaining game tonight, not as evenly put as what we thought it was going to be, but still was still an entertaining game to watch. Still maybe a bit of a reality check for Levit8, but was still entertaining nonetheless. And for us, that's done. That's done tonight. Thank you very much for everyone who came and joined in. Thank you very much, Kanye and Aldo, for joining me here tonight as well.
Thanks so much. Cheers, I guess. Cheers, gents.
Yeah. Cheers, chat.